Meanwhile, in what appeared to be the largest attack of its kind in recent memory, according to a US military official, approximately 7 mortar rounds landed in the US embassy compound in Baghdad during an attack. Now, the embassy attack marked the first time it had been fired on in more than a year, apparently widening the range of targets. In recent weeks, dozens of military bases housing US forces have been attacked, increasing fears of a broadening regional conflict. The United States strongly condemned the attacks and called on Iraq to bring the perpetrators to justice. US State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller said in a statement, and I quote him here, "The many Iran-aligned militias that operate freely in Iraq threaten the security and stability of Iraq, our personnel and our partners in the region." End of quote. Meanwhile, Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammad Shia al-Sudani warned that attacks on embassies undermine the country's security. He called on security forces to bring those responsible to justice. The UN assistance mission for Iraq also condemned the attack and warned of repercussions. They wrote on social media platform X, and I quote, "UNAMI condemns this morning's rocket attack on the US embassy in Baghdad. All diplomatic premises must be protected in line with international law, as underscored by the Iraqi government." End of quote. The attacks come against a backdrop of more than 2-month-long now war between the US ally Israel and Hamas in Gaza. The United States leads an international coalition battling jihadists in Iraq and neighboring Syria, and its forces have come under repeated attack in recent weeks. US forces in Iraq and Syria have been attacked at least 84 times since October 17th. This comes after Hamas's October 7th attack on Israel. The Pentagon says that the attacks have left at least 60 US personnel wounded. The US has responded with a series of strikes that have killed at least 15 militants in Iraq and up to 7 in Syria. Now, to give you an idea of as to where the US troops are stationed in the Middle East, here is a map. In Syria, approximately 900 soldiers are stationed to conduct counter-terrorism operations against the ISIS. In Iraq, around 2,500. Now, though the presence of the US military is a sensitive domestic issue in Jordanian politics, there were around 2,900 personnel there as of June 2023 at the request of the Jordanian government. At least 8,000 US forces are deployed to the large Al Udeid air base southwest of Doha, which hosts the regional headquarters for the US Central Command. As of 2022, there were over 9,000 US military personnel assigned to NSA Bahrain. In 2021, there were 13,500 US personnel and thousands of pieces of equipment in Kuwait, primarily at Camp Arif Jan Ali Al Salem Air Base. In December 2022, there were over 2,700 US troops stationed in Saudi Arabia to train, advise and assist its armed forces and to protect United States' interests in the region from Iran and its proxies. The UAE has been a key US ally in the Middle East for years, hosting up to 3,500 US personnel. Now, there are a few hundred troops stationed in Oman, primarily from the Air Force. The US has over 1,000 troops in Turkey, a NATO member, primarily at an air base near the city of Adana and an air station near Azimir.
Yeah,